Morning. It's Friday, January 3rd. We are in the new quarterly for the first quarter of 2025. God's Love and Justice. Further thought, read Christ's Object Lessons, page 405 to 421. It's a section called To Meet the Bridegroom. It is the darkness of misapprehension of God that is enshrouding the world. Men are losing their knowledge of His character. It has been misunderstood, misinterpreted. At this time, a message from God is to be proclaimed, a message illuminating it in its influence and saving its power. His character is to be made known. Into the darkness of the world is to be shed the light of His glory, the light of His goodness, mercy, and truth. This is the dark work outlined by the prophet Isaiah in the words, O Jerusalem, that brightest good tiding, lift up thy voice with strength. Lift it up, be not afraid. Say to the cities of Judah, Behold your God. Behold, the Lord God will come with a strong hand, and His arm shall rule for Him. Behold, His reward is with Him, and His work before Him. That was Isaiah 49 and 10. Those who wait for the bridegroom's coming are to say to the people, Behold your God. The last rays of merciful light, the last message of mercy to be given to the world, is a revelation of His character of love. The children of God are to manifest His glory. In their own life and character, they are to reveal what the grace of God has done for them. The light of the Sun of Righteousness is to shine forth in good works, in words of truth and deeds of holiness. And that was an excerpt from Christ's Object Lesson, page 415 and 416. And just like the other books, if you would like a lesson quarterly of your own, you can go down to a local Seventh-day Adventist church, and if they don't have one, they can get one. Christ's Object Lessons is not necessarily one of the more popular books that's given out, but I'm sure that they could get one for you. There's also an app. If you go to your app store and look up Sabbath School Quarterly, you'll find this. You can download it and follow along, or do it yourself. Discussion questions. Worse than the thought of there being no God would be the thought that God hated us. How different a world would we exist in if that were the truth? Yeah, it would be 10 times worse at least. You would beg for it to be only 10 times worse. Why would you think there's so much misunderstanding of God's character in the world today? Well, I think there's so much misunderstanding of the character of God in the world today because of misrepresentation and manipulation by Satan. He thinks, he tries to convince everyone that God is nothing but a tyrant, and the simple fact of the matter that He still exists is proof that God is not a tyrant, because Satan rebelled against God, and he wants to make himself God. He wants God's throne, and he convinced 1/3 of the angels to follow him, and a tyrant wouldn't allow that. Why do you think there is so much? No, wait. Second question for number 2. Think about and discuss ways you might help people to see God's character or love more clearly. What is the message that is to be proclaimed about God's character today? Well, that He's loving and just and merciful. How would you explain this message to someone who is not already familiar with the reality of God's love? Well, just explain what I just said. Tyrants don't allow people to disagree with them. So, if God really was a tyrant, then first off, we would not have free will if God was a tyrant and He made us, He would make us so that we didn't have free will. We would love Him robotically, and anyone who didn't would pretty much cease to exist. That's tyranny. What evidence can you point to that shows the reality of His love and His wonderful character? Again, the fact that sinners can be forgiven. The fact that Satan is still alive. Talking about God's love is one thing. Revealing and reflecting that love in our lives is another. What deeds of holiness might reveal God's love to those around us? Acts of kindness to people who can do nothing for you in return. That'd be one thing. What do you guys think? Anyway, have a good weekend, and I'll see you again on Sunday. Bye.